Did you know there was a time in history when being short could protect you from the law? In the vast empire of ancient China around 200 BC stood a man whose name would echo through time. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. A fierce ruler, a visionary, and just 4 feet 11 inches tall. But Emperor Qin did not see his height as a flaw. He saw it as law. Among the infamous 18 laws of Qin, there was one that left the people stunned to be considered an adult. You had to be at least as tall as the emperor himself. In a world without reliable birth record, this single measurement determined guilt, innocence, and freedom. If you stood shorter than the emperor, you could plead as a child. Crimes were overlooked, punishments were lightened, and many exploited. Short men roamed the empire with confidence, protected not by armor but by inches. But for those who passed the emperor's height, the world was merciless. Qin's laws demanded more than obedience. They demanded control over emotion. Under his rule, men were forbidden to cry. Tears, he believed, were weak, a stain on masculinity, and the punishment, public humiliation, beard, shaved eyebrows, stripped clean. The man left, not just shamed, but visibly marked. Yet while men were forbidden to weep, women were commanded to cry in one of the most bizarre traditions in history. Before marriage, a woman had to cry for 1 full hour every single day for 30 days. She did not cry alone. On the first day, she wept in solitude. By the 7th, her mother joined her. By the 14th, her grandmother's cries echoed with theirs. And in the final week, her aunts and sisters wept in unison. A family chorus of sorrow, not for sadness, but as a symbol of love, farewell, and deep affection. This was not optional. It was a ritual, a performance of grief before joy, a rehearsal of goodbye before beginning anew. Under Qin's rule, emotions were not personal. They were policy. They were power. They were punishment. In a world ruled by one man's insecurities, the line between freedom and punishment could be drawn quite literally by a measuring stick. And so the empire marched on, bound by silence or tears. History remembers Qin Shi Huang as the man who built the Great Wall, buried scholars alive, and unified a fractured land. But behind the stone, the sword, and the scrolls lay a truth as strange as it is forgotten. In the Qin Dynasty, height was law, emotion was crime, and crying was a ritual of survival.